up. There we go. Hi everybody, Fran Brown here. I hope you're ready for a good session today with our side plank forearm section as promised. Okay, so standing feet hip distance apart, just take a minute to relax, set yourself up, think about your posture, neutral spine position, and get those core muscles working. So sideways on, 3 points of connection in the spine. Don't push that lower back out. Lengthen it slightly so you've got that neutral spine position and you're drawing the abdominals in. Chin retracted, so you're lengthening the back of the neck. Open up the shoulders, take the arms slightly behind you to help with that posture. Breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the mouth. Remember, close that rib cage, draw the abdominals in, try and feel your core connection, and that goes really with every exercise we do in the class, pretty much. And your knee alignment is very important to protect your knees. Make sure you're moving them in the right plane. When you bend your knees, this goes not just in the class, but generally, if you can keep your knees level with second or third toe and not let the knees roll in. You've got the activation bands. If you push out a little bit, that will actually help you with your whole body alignment. So put your activation band on if you're using it. Get your stretchy bands ready for later, or your light weights if you want to work a bit harder. Your exercise ball, obviously your exercise bat. Make sure you've got a nice aerated space and you're not going to bump into anything. And you've got a bottle of water handy to hydrate. Okay, so we'll do our normal warm-up, feet hip distance apart. Open up the chest, arms behind you again, neutral spine position. Don't let the back arch, you push the hips back, up onto the toes, breathing in, breathing out. So hinge the hips back, draw the abdominals in. Remember, pelvic bone and ribcage squeezing together so you don't overarch that low back. Rolling down. Relax the upper body, but keep the abdominals contracted. So relax the arms, head, neck and shoulders. And just straighten the legs so you start to feel a bit of a stretch there, back of the thighs, calves. It also stretches your low back, your buttock muscles. So just a warm up stretch, just relaxing. And breathing in, breathing out. So draw the abdominals in, think about tummy button going through to your spine, and then open up the back, shoulder blades, chin tucked in. Keeping your body alignment there. Leave the chin to the last so we get a nice stretch in the back of the neck. Good. And again, neutral spine position, up onto the toes, breathing in, breathing out. Close that rib cage, draw the abdominals in, push the hips back, but lumbar spine lengthen so you're not overarching. Keep the abdominals contracted, breathing normally, and then just relax the upper body. Let the arms flop forwards. No tension in the neck, no tension in the shoulders, and just straighten the legs a little bit, just as a warm-up stretch. And then breathe in, breathe out, draw the abdominals in, open up that spine, one vertebra at a time, tuck the chin in, all the way back up. Good. All right, fantastic. Back to your neutral position, posture, chin, shoulders, and just relax the shoulder joints, relax the arms, and just get those shoulder joints moving. So start off nice and small, and then you can make the circles a little bit bigger, loosening them up one after the other. Breathing in, open up the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Make sure when you're doing this, you don't push the head forward. Keep the chin back and it stays still. These are isolations, so we're just moving the shoulder joints here. Okay, one on its own. You might find you've got one shoulder a little bit stiffer than the other, so it's good to do this separately so the good shoulder doesn't take over the movement. And the other one you might find a little bit clicky, especially in one more than the other. Okay, going back again, and now we're going forwards with the shoulders. Okay, so you go forwards, back, up and down, the opposite direction, opening up the chest. And then we're going to do one forwards and one back. Okay, so it's quite tricky, requires you to Get your brain into gear early. Coordination. And the other way. So one shoulder's going forwards, one shoulder's going back. Excellent. All right, hands on the shoulders. So continue that movement. Good, leading with the elbows, breathing in, breathing out, abdominals in, opening up. Good, and then the arms. Relax the arms, raise the hands. Elbows back, level with the ears. Check your alignment there, and then stretch up from there. As you do, this is where you draw the abdominals in. So you're also working your abdominal muscles and your back muscles as well. Remember, this is strengthening your muscles around the spine as long as you draw those abdominals in. So here we go, pelvic floor, bicep muscles, breathing in. Elbows back, breathe out now, draw the abdominals in, stretch up, and then from there, reach one arm up a little bit more. Make sure the stretch comes from the upper back rather than the top of the shoulders. You may need to keep the elbows a little bit bent to achieve that stretch in the right place. That's it, and then all the way back. Fantastic. Arms behind you. Core muscles engaged, neutral spine position, chin retracted. Shrug the shoulders and stretch the arms away from you. Breathing in, so stretch not just for your shoulders, for your upper back, for the back of your neck. Keep that chin retracted, so we're lengthening the back of the neck as well. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in and out, then we're going one and then the other. So starts off as a bit of a side bend. So as you stretch the arm down, we draw those abdominals in. This is working your oblique muscles, remember. Breathing in, breathing out. And then just take it a little bit further out with the arm. So you're getting a little bit more of a stretch in the shoulder joint. Remember, lead with the hand first, then the arm follows, rather than lifting the shoulder. So lengthening, stretching, breathing in, breathing out. Great, all right, and relax. Keep those arms slightly behind you with the shoulders open, neutral spine position. And just relax the chin forwards and draw it back and down. Have the breathing in. Breathing in as you chin forwards, breathing out, chin back, and bring your head down slightly when you do that to get a little bit more of a stretch there. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. And then lift the chin slightly. Never throw the head back very much. And then just bring the head forwards, just the head and neck moving here. Try not to bring the upper body forwards. Again, it's an isolation. Back of the neck. Breathing in. Breathing out. Good. Chin retracted back to the centre. Breathe in, breathe out. Turn the jaw sideways up to the ceiling. With the arm. So if you're taking the chin up left, the left arm stretches down a little bit more. You can always take it behind you for a bit more of a stretch, or bring it up a little bit higher and do that stretch. So you're opening the shoulder there. Quite a good one to do. Good. And the other one, breathing in, breathing out. And do remember, if you want to do these stretches for deeper stretches for mobility, flexibility, the video I did on Tuesday goes into that a little bit longer, how to hold the stretches a bit longer for improving your flexibility. So you do it 3 times and hold it for 10 to 15 seconds. So if you're interested in that one, check that one out. So it was the Tuesday's class this week. Any problems in finding it, just let me know. I can email you the YouTube link for that one. Okay. Good. And relax. Shoulders down. Breathing in, breathing out. Turn the head to the side. Open the shoulders. Take the head round as far as you can. Breathing in, breathing out. And then just rotate the neck. Try not to bring the head and the shoulders forwards when you do this. This is just your head and your neck. Breathing in, breathing out. And you can always bring the hands behind you Again, if you want a little bit more of a stretch in the shoulders, up to you. A couple of options here. Breathing in, breathing out. Good. All right, back to the center. Now just into your shoulder stretch, neck stretch. Ear to shoulder, hand over the head. Try and hold the ear if you can. Lift the head up a little bit and stretch it across, shoulder down. Again, you can do that thing with the arm if you want to take it behind you for more of a shoulder stretch. Good, and the other side, breathing in, breathing out. Again, arm behind you, optional. Open that shoulder a little bit more. Great, hands behind the head. Tuck the chin in and head forwards, breathing in, breathing out. So when you've got your head forwards, just check your knee alignment. So make sure this isn't happening. Can you see the knees are rolled in, they're not level with second or third toe. So push the legs out a little bit, particularly if you've got the band there. Check your knee alignment. And again, breathing in, breathing out, chin back, head forwards. And slowly coming up. That's it. Okay, let's go into our inner thigh stretch. Breathing in, breathing out. So remember, hips back, keep that knee level with second or third toe. So when you do the movement, the idea is not to push the thigh forwards at all. It's easy to do that, but if you push the thigh forwards, first of all, the knee goes too far forwards, okay? So sink the hips back and then lunge to the side. Then you'll keep your alignment there and keeping your 3 points of connection, of course. Try not to let the shoulders come forwards. If they do, just take the arms behind you like that, and that'll help you to keep your chin back and your chest open. Breathing in, breathing out. Good, legs wide enough so you feel that stretch in the inner thigh of the straight leg. Breathing in, breathing out. That's it. This is just like a warm up really. And then we're going to add an arm in here, up and over as you stretch. Stretch across. Good, and back, breathing in, breathing out, up and over. Try not to let the arm come forwards like that. Elbow level with the ear as normal. You can always bend the arm a little bit. And feel the stretch coming from the rib cage, lifting it up and over. Last one, breathing in, lift the rib cage up, draw the abdominals in and over. Watch that knee alignment. Okay, so into your deeper stretches now. If you feel you can stretch a bit more, take the legs a little bit wider. You can turn the feet out as well, which helps just to turn up that inner thigh. So you're getting a little bit more of a stretch there. Still sinking the hips back. Keep the arms there if you want to. Breathing in, breathing out, and then deeper. Optional. And the other side. So bring the feet back as they were first, and then go into that stretch. If you feel you can stretch a bit more, turn the feet out, sink the hips back, and feel that deeper stretch there, keeping your upper body posture in place. Brilliant. Okay, hip flexor stretch. So turn your body to the side and squat down. Keep your back nice and straight. Shoulder blades back and down, abdominals in. Breathing in, breathing out. Tip the pelvis under. So you're feeling that stretch in the hip flexor here, which is really good, obviously, for your abdominals as well. Both arms up in the air. If you want to add the bands in here, you grab your band. We can add the band in here. Hold the ball or your weights, up to you. Otherwise, interlace the fingers. If you can, turn them inside out and stretching up, whichever mode you're using. Really stretch up through the spine. Elbows level with the ears if you can, breathing in, breathing out, and then tip the pelvis under as you reach up. Draw those abdominals in, and then just take the arms to the side slightly. Good, and back. Stretching up and over the other way. Draw the abdominals in, tip the pelvis under, back to the centre, and then up and back. Draw the abdominals in, tip the pelvis under, stretching up through the spine. Good, and relax. Okay, we're just going to switch around the other way. Make sure your feet are still hip width apart when you do this. Okay, try not to have the one foot behind the other like that. It's going to make you very wobbly. Okay, and squat down, tip the pelvis under, activate your hip flexor, breathing in, breathe out, abdominals in, hip forward, keep the back nice and straight. Okay, arms up, using the bands or weights if you want to. If you can, turn the fingers inside out, elbows level with the ears. If you can't get the elbows back, bend the elbows a little bit so you can. Breathing in, breathing out, stretching up. Draw those abdominals in as you reach up through the chest and then over to the side. And back. Breathing in, up and over to the other side. Tip the pelvis under and back. Back to the centre now. Stretch upwards, lift the chest up, lift the spine up and back slightly, and then draw the abdominals in, tip the pelvis under. That deep stretch there in your hip flexor. Fantastic. Okay, front of the thigh stretch. So this is a little bit further down. That was up here, hip flexor. This is front of the thigh, so hold your foot. Ankle or trouser leg. Bring that knee back, breathing in, breathing out. Tip the pelvis under. Push the hip forward. Heel in towards the hip. Back nice and straight. Breathing in, breathing out. And repeat that movement. Make sure the leg you're standing on is slightly bent. Never lock the joint. Great. All right, other side. Hold your foot, ankle, trouser leg, or you can always use your exercise band here. Knees level, back nice and straight. Breathing in, breathe out. Draw the abdominals in. Tip the pelvis forward, but try and keep the knees level. Heel in towards the hip. If you can balance, you can hold the foot with both hands. Breathing in, breathing out, and repeat. Good, and relax. Okay, so feet hip distance apart, knees slightly bent as normal. Arms out to the side. So we're going to do some rib cage immobilization. So the idea is to move your upper body separately from the lower body. Okay, so we're trying to get this part, this is your rib cage attached to your shoulder blades, moving separately from the lower body. So it's not like this. You try and keep that still, and we try and move the rib cage. Now if you use the arms, that will help you because you can focus on stretching the finger towards the opposite wall, and then the arm and rib cage follow. But you must draw the abdominals in, lengthen the lumbar spine, no arching, and of course no hunching. So try and keep the arms slightly behind you, breathing in, breathing out, and stretching. If it's too much on the shoulders, you can just bring the arms down a little bit. You can actually do it without the arms. Adding the arms in makes the ribcage isolation a little bit easier, but it's harder on the shoulders. So give that a go. Abdominals in, with or without the arms, up to you, or bring the arms down a little bit lower if it's uncomfortable. That's it. Breathing in and out normally, shoulder blades back and down. Okay, now we're going to rotate. Okay, now try and keep the feet, knees, hips and shoulders facing the front. So we're just moving the upper body. You might need to bend the knees, tuck the hips under a little bit. Your choice of arm position, you can have the arms here, you can have the arms here, in this position, up to you. So stretching out first, keeping the arms slightly behind you, and then just move the chest. The arms will move, hopefully, only because you're moving your chest. Try not to let them move on their own. Breathing in, breathing out, and then turn the head towards the arm that's coming forwards. I'll do it this way around, just so you've got it. Breathing in, arms behind you, breathing out. Just move the chest. The arms will follow, and then bring the head towards the arm that's coming forwards. As I said, if it's a little bit too much, with the arms, bring them down a little bit lower, or you can bring the hands onto the shoulders. We've done that before. Up to you, but try not to let the shoulder or the arm move first. Breathing in, abdominals in. Nice and gently, don't force anything. Good, all right, then we're going to hold it one side. So just make sure your arm hasn't come forwards. So open up a little bit more. And then I want you to really stretch the arms. Stretch the arms from the hand, from the shoulder, one way and the other way, and then both at the same time. And then I want you to turn the hands that way. Okay, so you've got a flat hand on the diagonal, and then just reach and pulse. Make sure the arm hasn't come forwards. And try and feel that stretch in the wrist. Turn the palms back as far as you can. Open up the chest, arms behind you, stretching. And then the other way, stretching. So you should feel a stretch all the way up the arm into the shoulder. Good, relax. And then we'll just do that the other side. Open up, stretch. Turn the palms backwards and a little pulsing action. Try not to let the arms come forwards. Pulsing, turn that palm back so you get a nice stretch in the shoulder as well, all the way up the arm and into the wrist. Excellent. Okay, arms out in front, reaching forwards. So opening those shoulder blades, breathing in, breathing out. Stretch a little bit more, reaching. Okay, this time, rather than turn the palms that way, you're going to turn the wrist inwards, like that. Like almost like making a fist, but turn the fists inwards. And then when you stretch, one and then the other. Again, you're going to get stretch in the wrist. It's the other way. Breathing in, breathing out. Stretching. Excellent. All right, interlace the fingers, turn the hands inside out. Elbows level with the ears, reaching up and over. Push the hips out in the other direction. Draw the abdominals in. Shoulder blades back and down. Up and over. So push the hips out in the other direction. Breathing in, breathing out, stretch. So really this top arm, make sure it goes a little bit straighter than the bottom arm. So you get that stretch in the side of the rib cage. Up and over. Good. All right, back of the arm stretch. It's very important to do that today because we're doing our side plank. Elbow back. Slide the hand down and the other way. Great. Okay, so our squatting section, actually we're going to do lunges today. So grab your exercise band, grab your weights or nothing at all. Remember, if you don't want to use the weights of the exercise band, you can use your own body weight for the arm exercises. So if you make a fist like that, so when we do this, we're actually going to do this exercise, which works our back muscles, our lat muscles. If it's uncomfortable, you bring it to the front, but still working the same muscles. But if you haven't got a band or weight, or you don't want to use it, if you just make a fist, okay, you're really squeezing the fist, it creates your own body weight resistance. Okay, so it's quite good. All right, so feet hips apart. Let's just do our lunging position. The important thing is here to keep the back nice and straight, neutral spine position. Work at your own level, so you can, if it's uncomfortable in the knees or the back, you can just take a very small movement. But the important thing is to squat down there, not to keep moving forwards, because then that knee is going to be in the wrong alignment. Okay, so back nice and straight, breathing in, breathing out. Big or little step, up to you. You need to stop there and then squat down so that knee doesn't keep continuing. Okay, so we do one leg and then the other. We're swapping each time. Back nice and straight. Step, squat, and back. Okay, step, squat, back nice and straight. Abdominals in, squeeze the bicep muscles as usual. As you come back up, abdominals in, Good, and if you want to add the arms in, as I said, this is what we're doing with the arms, taking the band slightly behind, or if you've got the weights, keeping the arms slightly behind you if you can, so we're activating the back muscles, the lat muscles, and the shoulder blade stabilization. Some people find it really uncomfortable to do that. That's fine. You can bring it down to here instead, making sure you are keeping the chest open, shoulder blades back and down, and then we're working the back muscles as well. All right, so up to you. So this is your start position. Breathing in, breathing out, back nice and straight. Step, squat, add the arms in. Good, and back. So how much you work with the arms is up to you. Wind the bands up. Keep doing it while I'm chatting. Don't stop. And then breathing in, breathing out. Step, squat, breathe in, breathe out. Push the heel into the mat, the front foot as you come back for a little bit more resistance. So here, good, and back, abdominals in. As I said, if it's uncomfortable, just bring the arms down to the front, but making sure you keep the chest open and you're working the back muscles. Step, squat, breathing in, breathing out. Push that front heel into the mat. Good, speed it up a little bit if you want to, as long as you're not losing your core connection. So if you haven't got the band, you make a fist, squeeze, and then create your own body weight resistance while you're doing it. That's it. Breathing in, breathing out. Good. So speed it up a little bit if you want to. Go down a little bit lower if you want to, as long as that the hip doesn't go below that knee. So work at your own level. Take a rest if you want to. Speed it up if you want to. Go down a bit lower if you want to. That's it. Whichever arm you're doing, up, arm or behind. Good. Okay, and then we're going to hold it in this position, with or without the bands, up to you. Hold it in that position, back nice and straight. Now we're going to put the weight on the front leg. I don't mean lean forwards, I just mean the weight is on the front leg rather than the back leg. And we're just going to pulse up and down, just 2 or 3 inches, making sure all that energy is going into the front leg. So push that heel into the floor, breathing in, breathing out, abdominals in, and you're going to feel the back of the thighs, the buttock muscles working. Good, all right, then just switch the weight to the back foot. So all the weight is going into the ball of the back foot, breathing in, breathing out, abdominals in. That's it, it's quite tough. And then we'll change legs, do the same thing on the other leg. You can still add arms in if you want to. It's up to you. So squat down, bring the weight forward onto the front foot, push that heel into the mat, breathing in, breathing out. Make sure you come up straight, not backwards and forwards. That's not the idea. We're really trying to work that leg. Breathing in, particularly difficult, or challenging if you've got the activation band. Good, swap the weight to the back foot. So the ball of the back foot is pushing down into the floor as you come back up. Draw the abdominals in. Good, and again, quite challenging. Okay, back to your start position, and we'll just finish off with our deep stretches for the arms. So arms out, right over left, lock the elbows. And again, if you're finding that a little bit of a struggle yet, just bring the arm across, take the hand there, and eventually you'll probably get more flexibility and you will be able to do the other one, but it's not a competition. Bring the arm across, turn the head the other way, and then stretch that arm a little bit more to get more of a stretch. So if you're doing the other one, you can bend the elbows, take the shoulder around a little bit further. Good, and relax. And then the other one, take the arm across, stretch that arm, breathing in, breathing out. Good, so do a couple more if you're doing it with me. Right over left, and just side to side. So do the other one if you prefer. Breathing in, breathing out, turn the head in the other direction. Again, as in my previous video I was talking about, you can always hold this a little bit longer and repeat it 3 times. If it's a real issue, if you really have a tight shoulder, push the elbows out, extend the forearms forwards. Good, and back, and then we'll do that on the other side. So left over right, push the elbows out. Remember, if it's too much, just do the other one I showed you. A simple shoulder stretch, breathing in, breathing out. Back to the centre, elbows away, and extend the forearms further forwards, opening the shoulder blades. Good. All right, and relax, arms behind you. If you can, interlace the fingers like that. Shoulders down, and then stretch the arms out behind you without arching the back, breathing in, breathing out. Again, stretch the shoulder, stretches the biceps actually as well. And then just turn the arms one way and the other way for a little bit more of a stretch. Relax, and again, breathing in, breathing out, stretching out. Good. Okay, so we're going to get ready to go down onto the floor. So take your shoes off if you want to. I'm just going to leave mine on for the next exercise. Because I twisted my ankle a little bit yesterday. It's not terrible, and just while I was walking. So for this one, I'm just going to leave my shoes on for a little bit more support. Okay, take some water. And then first of all, we're going into our deep stretches and then into our plank series. And remember, please work at your own level. Take a rest if you need to. If plank is completely too much for you, then you go into your Superman exercise, which I will show you. Okay, so up onto the toes, breathing in, breathing out. Hinge the hips back, draw the abdominals in, and relax the upper body. Hold on to somewhere that's comfortable for you. Remember not to arch the low back, not to round it too much either. Keeping the neutral spine position. Good, remember this stretches the calves, the thighs, buttock muscles, the low back as well. And then you want to bend your knees a little bit, level with second or third toe. Breathing in, breathe out, so draw the abdominals in, straighten the legs enough so you get that stretch in the back of the legs. A little bit deeper than our warm-up stretches before. And again, bend, breathing in, breathing out, straighten, keep the abdominals in, breathing normally. Good, and then we'll alternate, bend one, straighten the other. Again, hold it for a good few seconds. And swap it. So you should feel all these muscles, low back, bottom muscles, back of the legs, gradually lengthening, stretching out. Alternating. Great. All right, we'll do our deeper stretches. So turn the toes inwards. Bend the knees, breathing in, breathe out. Straighten the legs, hinge the hips back. Draw the abdominals in, hold it for a few seconds. Bend the knees, again, breathing in, breathing out. Straighten a little bit more. Abdominals in, keeping your neutral spine position. And then we'll alternate. So bend one, straighten the other. Again, still keep that knee alignment. Although the feet are turned in, the knee still stays with second or third toe. Swapping, breathing in, breathing out. Draw the abdominals in, hinge the hips back. Hold each one for a few seconds, so you're improving on your flexibility. And then turn the feet round the other way. Bend the knees, breathing in, breathing out. Straighten the legs, hinge the hips back, abdominals in. And then bend and straighten, alternate knees. Great. All right, feet back to facing the front. Left leg out in front of you, so a little bit of a deeper stretch of the back of the legs and the calves. Again, sink the hips back, upper body posture. Hold the end of the toe, stretch the toe back, and turn the foot inwards and outwards. So you're getting that deeper stretch there in the back of the leg. All right, and then the other one. Good, and then side to side. Fantastic. All right, hands coming forwards onto the mat, and first of all into our downward dog stretch. So remember, anytime if it's too much, do bring the knees onto the mat. So going into our stretch first, think about stretching the arms, shoulder blades back and down, no rounding the shoulders like that, shoulder blades back and down so the neck is long, stretching up, hips up in the air, and try and get the heels down towards the mat, up onto the toes, breathing in, breathing out, stretch back down. If the heels are already there, you might want to take the legs a little bit further back to give you more of a stretch. But really think about stretching the spine, stretching the arms, stretching the shoulders, stretching the legs, up and down, and then alternating. Bend one, straighten the other. That's it. All right, abdominals in. So we're coming forwards into our plank. So remember, options, knees on the mat if it's too much. And the further you bring your body forwards, of course, the more challenge you're putting through your upper body, your core and your shoulders. So choose your level. Forwards, coming back into your plank, knees on the mat if you prefer. Intermediate level, just bring the feet up so you're in this position. The important thing is to draw the abdominals in and not hunch the shoulders. Shoulder blades back and down. Stretching back. Again, either knees or stretching there. Coming forwards. Good, down if you want to. Okay, so last week, if you remember, we did our side plank on our complete arm. So there's another way of doing it, which is on your forearm. So we're going to do that one today if you want to. I know a lot of you have been coming to my classes. Some of you do prefer to do the one on the whole of the arm. Some people prefer to do it on the forearm. So I'm going to demonstrate the forearm one today. If you prefer, you can do the original one with the whole arm. Doing it on the forearm, you might think it's easier, but it's easier on the wrist, but not so easy on the shoulder because you're taking all the body weight from your elbow to your shoulder. So it's tougher on the shoulder. So it's your choice. But as always, I'll give you your different levels to work to. So if you've been doing with me for a long time, go into your elbows plank and then go over onto your side plank, back to your centre, over the other way, and then I'm going to demonstrate, as before, our easier version, which is exactly the same as this one, but we're on our forearm. Now you need to make sure that the elbow is under the shoulder. No point in doing it like this, it won't support you. So make sure your elbow is pretty much under your shoulder there. All right, so your preparation or your easier version for this, remember, is to keep the bottom leg on the mat, and then the other leg is out in front. Okay, so remember, long neck, elbow under the shoulder, breathing in, breathing out, draw the abdominals in, and then just try and get your hips off the mat. Draw the abdominals in and then relax. Do that a few times. Give that a go. If that feels, yeah, quite easy, okay, then what we do, the leg that's here, we're going to take it out on the floor, but this one stays on the mat. Okay, so breathing in, breathing out, give it a go, abdominals in. You can keep this hand on the mat for the moment. That's it. Give that a couple of goes. If that's still feeling quite easy, and if you've been doing this for a while, you might find it is. That's when you can take the other leg away. So interlock the fingers. You must push the hips up and try not to collapse into the shoulder here. That needs to be nice and long. So the hips up, abdominals in, and then you can take the arm up and over. Breathing in, breathing out underneath, up again. And as we did with our one last week, go a little bit underneath, hand down towards the knee. Good, and up again. Okay, so you can do that a couple of times, and then all you do is go back into your forearms front plank, either like this, if you're doing your easier version, or like this. That's it. And then we're going to go on the other side. Okay, so I'm just going to turn around the other way and demo it here. So if you're finding it too much on the shoulder, please go back to the other one we did on the full arm. Okay, up to you. So again, make sure the elbow is under the shoulder. Bottom leg bent, top leg also bent like this. Breathing in, breathing out. Now no hunching, no slouching into the shoulder. Lengthen there. Breathing in, breathing out. Abdominals in. And back down again. So do that a couple of times. And again, if that feels really easy, that's when you can take the other leg away. So you're pretty much into your plank position, but push the hips up. Draw the abdominals in. Arm up and over towards the floor. Breathing in, breathing out, and underneath. And up. Breathing in, breathing out, and then towards the knee, underneath. Hips up, abdominals in. Okay, and if that's feeling a little bit easy, you want more of a challenge, slide both feet away. I like to lock my feet like that. And then we're coming up, hips up nice and high, up and over, up and underneath. Now when you're doing the one underneath, try not to just flap the arm underneath. You do need, if you can, to move that shoulder underneath. Good, breathing in, breathing out, and then touch the knee. Good, making sure you push the hips up and your abdominals in. So continue that pattern. So you're doing one set of that, back onto your forearms, whether you're doing it knees or full plank, and then over to the other side. If you want a little bit more of a challenge, I have another option as well. So when you're in this position and you're doing this one, okay, if you drop the hips a little bit and then come up and over, again, that makes it a little bit more challenging. Draw the abdominals in, breathing out. Good, all right, back to the center and then stretch back. Or keep going if you want to. And I did a little separate video for this yesterday, so if you wanted to practice that and go through it on your own, that's just a 5-minute video. You can always practice that on your own. But as I said last week, the plank and side plank is probably the best exercise you can do for working the whole body quite quickly. Obviously, if you're doing it at home, make sure you warm up a little bit. Bring the hands down by your side. Relax the arms, head, neck and shoulders. Good. All right, come back up. And then we're going to go into our cat stretch. Draw the abdominals in. Lift the chest, shoulder blades back and down. Rounding. And retracting. Rounding. And retracting. And then while we're in this position, bring the hands a little bit further forwards and we're going to do our deep stretch. Again, for our shoulders to relax what we've just been doing. So the palm of the hand goes underneath the gap here. Good. Sink the hips back as far as it's comfortable. Slide the arm through until you feel a stretch in the shoulder. If you can, bring the head down onto the mat. Breathing in, breathing up. Then turn the head the other way. Slide the arm through a little bit more. It does give you a really good stretch in the shoulder. Good, and then let's do that on the other side. So the arm needs to be a little bit further out there. Breathing in, breathing out, back of the hand on the mat, slide the arm through. Hips down as far as it's comfortable. It doesn't matter if they don't go down very far. Slide the arm through till you get a stretch in the shoulder joint. Head down on the mat if you can. And then for a little bit more of a stretch, breathe in, breathe out. Slide the arm through a little bit more. turn that head the other way. Great, fantastic. Okay, roll over. So we're going into our rolling down. And of course, in this section, you can always use your roller for this if you want to. It's a more challenging option, so you can use that if you want to. Again, you can use your exercise bands, your weights, or if you're not very confident with your roll down, remember, keep the hands underneath your thighs, keep the movement small, particularly if you're having a bad back week. You might be, everyone seems to be going out in the garden a lot at the moment. Okay, I'll just keep the ball there to support you and work on that flexibility. Okay, breathing in, breathing out. So remember, close that rib cage, draw the abdominals in, rolling back down. Breathing in, breathe out, abdominals in and coming back up. Nice and slowly. So it's not a competition. You don't have to roll all the way back down with this one. Work at your own level. Important thing is when you come back up, draw those abdominals in. Remember, pelvic bone and rib cage squeezing together. Squeeze the bicep muscles and come back up. Breathing in, breathing out. So collapse that rib cage. Draw the abdominals in. Breathing in, breathing out and coming back up. So up to you if you want to add the ball. Up to you if you want to add the bands in or the weights. We have done quite a bit on the upper body today already. So it's up to you. Good, big stretch back. Breathing in, breathing out. Tuck the chin in, slowly coming up. Abdominals in, squeeze the buttock muscles. So add your band in here. Stretch it apart if you want to. Take it back. Good, breathing in, breathing out. Tuck the chin in, abdominals in, squeeze the buttock muscles. Good. You always wrap the band around the feet. And when you come back up, we can add in a bicep curl. You don't need the weights, you don't need the bands. As before, you can tuck the elbows in, make a fist. Okay, you can see if you watch my muscle, you're still working the muscles. So it's up to you. Breathing in, big stretch up, breathing out, elbows tucked in, work those biceps. You make a fist and squeeze. Up to you. Breathing in, breathing out. Good. Another one of my favourites here is to do tricep extension. So particularly if you've got the band, it makes a little bit more intensity. Again, squeeze, make a fist, breathing in, breathing out and extending. There, and then the other one. Do one at a time just to get the back of the arms. Again, up to you. A few different options there, you can vary it. Really nice big stretch. Squeeze the bicep muscles, slowly come back up. Great. Okay, hug your knees, nice deep breath in and out. Good, fantastic. All right, rolling back now. Using the ball cushion at the back of the head if you want to. All right, neutral spine position. Remember, you can move the band up or down for these exercises. With this exercise, if you bring the band lower, it's going to be harder. It's the opposite to what you think. I think because we're stronger up here, it's easier to move the band. If you bring it down a bit lower, it's more challenging. So it's up to you how you move the band. Anyway, neutral spine position. Make sure your fingers don't go under the small of the back, pelvic bone and rib cage. Breathe in, breathe out, squeezing together. As you breathe out, draw those abdominals in. And remember, as you do that, that's when you add the movement in. Slide the leg away. And make sure when you slide the leg away, okay, this isn't happening. The pelvis isn't twisting. So pelvis needs to remain on the floor. So make sure that's happening. I often see this in my classes. You slide the leg away and the hip drops. It's important to keep the pelvis level. If it's an issue, put your hands on the pelvic bones and just check. So breathing in, breathing out, squeeze that pelvic bone and rib cage together and make sure that hip doesn't twist or pelvis doesn't twist. Okay, add the arms in as usual, adding that big stretch at the end. Breathing in, breathing out, stretching. Keep the chin tucked in so you're getting a nice stretch in the back of the neck. Good. Make sure that back isn't arching. Opposite, one arm out to the side, big stretch out. And the other one opening. There we go. And then of course more challenging, both arms back. Now when you take both arms back, try not to hunch the shoulders. Keep the shoulder blades pressed into the mat, and then you take the arms back from there. When you get the arms back to the mat, that's when you can stretch up a little bit more, stretching out the back muscles. Breathing in, breathing out, lengthening and stretching. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to mix it up a little bit. So we're going to do 4 of those, and then we're going to do 4 of our shoulder bridge. And again, it's up to you which level you work at. Okay, so with your shoulder bridge, this is your basic one. If you want to work harder, as you know, you bring your feet in closer. You can come up on the balls of the feet as well. It makes it more challenging. So up to you. Slowly rolling down. And then, of course, if you have got the band, as you curl up, you push your legs apart for a little bit more intensity. If you haven't got the band, where's my ball? Oh, it's here. If you haven't got the band, you may want to squeeze the ball together and then roll back down, up to you. Okay, and then we're going to add in some abdominal curls. So we're going to do 4 opposite arm and opposite leg at your own level, 4 of your shoulder bridge, and then we're going to do 4 abdominals. So make sure it's a comfortable position. Breathing in, breathing out. So coming up, draw those abdominals in and back again. Breathing in, breathing out. So again, I'm going to give you different levels here. Breathing in, breathing out. So this is your basic level. Breathing in, breathing out. Good. So come back up into your opposite arm and opposite leg. And now if you want to ramp up your level, okay, we can go into our tabletop, up to you, making sure you're keeping your spine in your neutral position. Breathing in, breathing out. Do a couple more actually. There. Abdominals in. Good. Feet on the mat, down into your shoulder bridge. Again, working at your own level. Up onto the balls of the feet. Bring the feet in a bit closer towards the hips. If you want to, slowly rolling that spine back down. Breathing in, breathing out. So take the legs apart if you want to. If you've got the band, bring it down a bit lower if you want to, or squeeze the knees together. Or you can do a combination of both actually. If you want to take the legs apart as you come back up, maybe squeeze the knees together as you come back down, just to vary it. Breathing in, breathing out. Good. A couple more. And slowly rolling down, breathing in, breathing out. Good. And then we're going to go into our abdominal curls. So this was the basic level. If you're ready, bring your feet up into tabletop. And do remember to lead with the chest, abdominals in, and then you can take the legs up a little bit higher. Draw those abdominals in as you lead with the chest. Breathing in. We do a little bit more than 4, I think, maybe 6. That's it. And then we'll go back to our tabletop. Again, working at your own level, feet on the mat, extending the legs out. Breathing in, breathing out, stretching, lengthening. Good. And then down into your shoulder bridge. You can always start the hands up here. It's a little bit more challenging. Coming back, slowly rolling down. Add the legs in if you want to. Pushing the knees apart. Squeezing the knees together as you come back down. Your choice. slowly. And one more. Good. Okay, back to your tabletop. And then we're going to add in our mountain climber with this. That's it. Speed it up a little bit. Up to you. I've given you your different levels. And make sure you do with this one, curl up a little bit. Don't go back down again. Okay, so you're going side to side, dominoes in. Speed it up a little bit if you want to. Side to side. That's it. And then back down. And then into your shoulder bridge. And really stretch out that spine now. Good. Breathing in, breathing out, running out of time. If I might. One more. Good. And we're going into our abdominal curls. So this time, again, choose your level. Curling up. Legs up in the air, and we're going to do a little pulsing action. So whether you've got feet on the mat, remember, pulsing action leads with the chest, those abdominals in, feet in tabletop, legs up in the air, up to you. And then the most challenging level, of course, is with your split leg position. So give that a go if you want to. Draw those abdominals in, little pulsing action, leading with the chest, change legs. If it's too much, go back down to feet on the mat. And then if you want to, keep that position there and then just alternate there. Abdominals in, keeping your neutral spine position. Again, it's quite challenging. Always do it with the knees slightly bent if you want to. Great. Okay, and relax. Well done. All right, knees into the chest. Hands at the back of the thigh and circle the hips round. One way and the other way. Good, arms out to the side. Into your spine stretch. Head goes the other direction. To the legs, try and keep that shoulder blade pressed into the mat. Just going to move out a little bit. Breathing in, breathing out. Good, feet back on the mat, hands down by your side. Good, relax your neck, relax your back, relax your shoulders, side to side, head up and down. Good, then we're going into our back stretch and arm stretches. So I'm just going to put some music on. Take your activation band off now. And we'll get ready for our stretches. So starting off with our low back stretch. Save the band for a bit later. Okay. So stretch both legs out, both arms up, point the toes, flex the feet, big stretch, breathing in, breathing out, bring the left knee in towards the chest. Press that lower back into the mat. And remember, you want to be holding it for about 10 seconds. And if it is a real issue at the moment with your low back, as I've said in the previous video, in Tuesday's video, you would hold it for 10 to 15 seconds. Relax it, breathing in, breathing out, and then repeat that stretch and hold it. And then obviously you breathe normally. So you can always add that in if you want to, if it's an issue for you, or something to do if your low back's a bit tight. Curling up if you want to, press that lower back into the mat. Good, one more each side. Good, all right, so into your stretching. Grab your activation band or your stretchy band, and then we'll go into our leg stretches. Right leg out along the mat, left leg up in the air. Point the toes and flex the feet. Add the band, add a bit more resistance with the band if you want to. Just make sure your pelvis stays level and your hips stay on the mat. No point in trying to lift the leg so far back and then your hip comes off. That's not the idea. So point the toes, flex the feet, work on that flexibility. Good, and then hold it in the flex position. Take the leg across, keep the foot flexed, and then move that leg forwards and backwards. Good, bring the leg back, swap hands. Take the leg out the other way. Flex the foot, move that leg forwards and backwards. Great, all right, swap legs. Right leg up in the air. Left leg out on the mat, point the toes, flex the feet, work on straightening the leg a little bit more, drawing it back a little bit further, adding more resistance if you want to. Okay, take the right leg now over to the left hip comes off the mat, foot flex, move that leg forwards and backwards to get that deeper stretch. All right, swap hands, take the leg out, right leg out to the right, pelvis level, move that leg forwards and backwards. Oh, not letting go of the band. That's it. Remember to turn that leg out slightly with your inner thigh. Good, all right, bring the legs back, bring the leg back, take the band away, hip stretch. Pelvis level, turn the thigh out. And the other one. All right, into your relaxation. So stay on your back, child's pose position. Choose your stretch position. Make sure it's comfortable, you can relax. The knees bent, legs straight. Knees apart, up to you. Relax the neck, relax the shoulders. Hands by your side across your chest. Alright, so no tension in the neck, no tension in the shoulders. Stretch the arms, stretch the hands and relax. Relax the upper body. Relax your hips, relax your back. Relax your legs, no tension anywhere in the body. And then focus on your Pilates breathing. Deep breath in through the nose, ribcage expanding. Hold it for a few seconds. Breathe out through the mouth, ribcage closing. Hold it for a few seconds. And repeat that sequence in your own time. Focusing on the deep breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, the rise and fall of the rib cage, and of course holding those breaths a little bit longer, which will help to slow your breathing down and take you into a state of relaxation. Slowly come back up. Stay down if you want to. We just run over time a bit today. Let's hold the stretches a bit longer. Come back up on all fours. Into your cat stretch, rounding the shoulder joints, the shoulder blades, and retracting, lengthening through the spine. Breathing in, breathing out. And then downward dog stretch as we did before. Shoulder blades back and down. Stretch the arms. Bend and straighten, alternate knees, hips back, abdominals in, and walk the hands back up towards the feet. Rolling up like we did in the beginning, abdominals in, tuck the chin in, knee alignment, all the way back up. Excellent. All right, so as you were in the beginning, arms slightly behind you, neutral spine position. Just roll those shoulders forwards, up, back and down, breathing in. Breathing out and then stretching up. Good. Hands behind the head. Chin retracted. Bring the head forwards. And slowly come back up. Good. Fantastic. I hope you enjoyed that. And I'll see you soon.